Welcome to GrumpyMan's Reviews. Today we're looking at the Russell Hobbs Fast Bake Bread Maker. At the time of recording, I picked this up from Amazon for £65. Link in the description box below if anyone's interested. As you can see there, 3 years guarantee. It's actually 2 years. You have to register online with Russell Hobbs to make it into a 3-year guarantee. Recipe booklet included, and it does 3 different bread sizes and 55-minute fast bake function. The first thing out the box, some paperwork. Model number 23620. As I mentioned before, register online for an extra year of guarantee. Letting us know what's what. It does have a timer, this as well, up to 13 hours, but it says the timer is only usable with basic French, whole wheat and sweet programs. It does have the recipes written here. The paddle that will need to go inside. So we'll look at the actual unit. An information sticker at the back and a fixed cord. Make sure you don't place it too close to the wall because they will let air out. Again, to let air out. It's a nice compact size, this. On this side. Let's have a quick look at the bottom. At the bottom of the bread maker there are 4 suction feet. At the top it's got a clear window. Kids will enjoy looking through that. So if I just open it, the loaf tin has a handle there. Let me just remove that. The heating element inside. That's what the loaf tin looks like from the bottom. A closer look at the inside. Before we start making the bread, we need to put the paddle in, which would only go in one way. Like so. Okay, what I'll do is I'll give this a wash, get some ingredients together, and then we'll make some bread. Okay, everything's washed and I'm ready now to make the bread. I'm going to be making a classic French loaf. That's the easiest one. Most of us will have this stuff lying at home. Water, salt, strong white bread flour and yeast. I'm going to be making 500 grams. I've measured them out. Over there where it says water, you could see it says 190 grams. They recommend to weigh the water rather than using a measuring jug. So I weighed it. 190 grams is around 200 milliliters because I made a plain white bread yesterday. Another thing to point out, if you're making plain white, classic French loaf and few other ones, not all of them but on some of them, it will make a noise after about 20 minutes to let you know you can add other ingredients in if you want to, like fruit and stuff. Another thing to point out, it's recommended to put everything in order. Water in first, salt, flour and then yeast, and it says try not to let the yeast mix with salt, so put that in at the end as it says here. I'll do that now. First thing, some water. Salt. And the last, yeast. So make the sound to let me know it's on. So you select the programs from here where it says menu. It lets you know in the book as well. I'm looking for program 2. Just push it there. 2P, that's program 2. At the top here, that's the size. I'm doing 500 grams, so that's the first one. Crust colour at the bottom. You can see these little arrows. I'm going to keep it medium. I could also set a timer. It lets you do 13 hours. So fresh bread first thing in the morning. But I'm not using a timer for this one. And all I do is press start. And that little red light's displayed there letting me know that it's on. That's 3 hours and 41 minutes. In some of the breads that you're making, like this one I'm making, the classic French loaf and the plain white one we made yesterday. Once it stops, it has a keep warm function for an hour. It'll keep the bread warm. If you don't want to use that, you just press the start stop button for 2 seconds. It will go off. It is recommended to remove the bread straight away and then let it rest for around 20 minutes. As you just heard there, it's finished from the lid. Gotta be careful, it's hot. The recipe that we made was the French bread and no oil went in that. That's why if you can see there, it's stuck at the bottom. Because it doesn't tell you to remove the paddle. It'd be helpful if you could remove it, because I've seen reviews on other bread makers where after it's done kneading, they say remove the paddle before it starts baking. But this machine does not give you that option, and then you end up with that. Anyway, I'll let that rest for 15 to 20 minutes and then we'll cut it. Turn it over the right side. Before I cut the bread I made today, I just thought I'll show you this bread. We made this yesterday. It's a plain white one. Really delicious. And this did take oil, so it came out a lot easier from the tin than the French bread, because as I mentioned, there were no oil in there. The bottom bit got stuck in the paddle, as you seen. Anyway, let's cut that now. Still a bit warm. Smells really nice. And I've tasted some, it's delicious, because the end that was stuck in the loaf tin, I tried that, delicious. Really like this bread maker. It's really easy to use. Couple of things to point out. The loaf tin, it's a bit stiff when you remove it out and when you push it in. Other bread makers I've seen, there's a left and a right turn to remove them, but with this you just pull it straight out, so it does get a bit stuck in there. So if you do have any problems or you're elderly, it may be a bit difficult using this bread maker for you. I would have liked to see the little LCD display light up. I know there isn't much information on there, but it would have been nice to see it light up. Them two problems aside, this bread maker is really good, as it's really easy to use. Anyone can use it. Put the ingredients in, push a few buttons and you're good to go. Do comment below and let us know if you have a bread maker and what are your thoughts. If you found the video useful, give it a thumbs up. Do subscribe to watch more reviews. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in my next video.